Test, aren't you?
Are more important than actually catching fish. Although catching fish is fun, but the places that you go to fly fish, to me, that's what makes fly fishing great.
Exactly.
Matt, you start first.
You know, I've thought a lot about this. And places a lot. You know, obviously you're going to create memories wherever you're at. Should I plug the next book?
Yeah,
Certainly,
sure.
why not? Yeah.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, well, Mark and I have another book coming out, and it is for newbies, and it's really geared for people who have always thought they wanted to get out on the water. Maybe they were intimidated by the casting or whatever, but we really want guys to get on the water and start off simple. And
not learn
I think in that book there's a lot of tips for guys who are novice anglers or are brand new, and place is obviously important because, like on the Cochetope, if you're not an experienced wader, you don't want to go jump into a river that's going to kill you.
Yeah.
The Cochetope is important because it's easy to wade.
Yep.
So, and therefore you create a lot of great memories when it's easy to fish and there's lots of fish there, and you just got to find those places. And in this next book that Mark and I have coming out, it's supposed to be out in October.
Now it's going to be out in February, so.
Yeah, they keep pushing things back, but that's fine. We give you some really good tips about for new guys. What do you do?
Well, Chip, one thing we think, though, that people get overloaded. They try to learn it all their first day at an Orbis school or whatever. We believe in doing a one-handed cast with controlled line, learning how to do that and catch fish, or at least get them to attack your fly, and you build your skills over time, not all at once. I think too many people buy the outfits, they go out and do it, they don't catch any fish because they get out of control with all this information, and they get fed up and they move on.
Right.
You guys certainly know that, at least I think, that the more that you hike into an area, the more remote it's going to be, because most of us like to stay along the roads where the easy access is.
Exactly.
Give me a couple of places that aren't, not terrible hikes, but really nice hikes. I was reading about a couple of them here that you really enjoy, that get you to places where you're not going to see a lot of other fishermen.
Rocky Mountain National Park, you go up Roaring Fork Trail to Long Lake. And you're going to catch the greenback cutthroat. They're going to be smallish at times, but when you get to the lake, 12 to 18 inches in that range with the occasional on either side. And they're beautiful and they're rare. They were nearly extinct at one point. Beautiful trail. It's a moderate trail, and it takes about 6 hours.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
And you might get snowed and sleeted on the way too.
Absolutely. And we, there was mountain lion tracks back there too, but you got to risk it a little bit. Come on.
I think mountain lions scare me worse than bears because they're a lot sneakier than bears are.
They are.
And the trick to all that is you only have to be faster than the guy you're with.
Correct. And which one of you is faster?
I was the safe one.
Oh, good. Okay, so you don't have any problem going anywhere as long as Mark's with you.
Right, not with Mark.
I got a bad knee. I got a bum knee, and so, I'm more vulnerable nowadays.
Give me, guys, the river with the easiest access, and I know a couple of them, runs through towns, the place where the wives want to go, and you can say, I'm going fishing, and in 5 minutes, you're there. You're standing in the river.
San Juan and Pagosa Springs, Williams?
Absolutely. I think the San Juan and Pagosa Springs, the one I think he's probably thinking about is the Blue River up at Breckenridge and Silverthorne and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pagosa Springs.
You can your wife can spend a lot of money up in that place. At Pagosa, you're kind of limited.
Right.
So Pagosa would be the place to go.
Pagosa's the place to go, yeah.
If you want to see a woman in a bikini
in one of the San Miguel that runs through Telluride. I mean, Colorado was really smart on a lot of their towns. Estes Park, you've got two rivers that run through there.
And I've certainly fished Estes, on several occasions. And I guess for the great wilderness experience, these aren't the places you would go first, correct? I mean, you've got cars, driving over bridges and people walking right by you, but there may be fish there as well.
We built the 30 home bases for this book based on a variety of types of experiences.
Yes.
And so at times when you're with the family on a ski trip, or you're with the family for a summer trip, or with the wife on a couple's trip, it's going to be, you take what you can get, and you're going to have to go do the husband things, but you can get away and fish for a couple hours at some of these places.
Right. One of the greatest things I think about this book is that, you might go into Steamboat Springs, and you can fish the Yampa right there all the way through town. You can fish a lot of that river there, and it's a great place for your kids and your woman to shop and to play. And then you drive 15, 20 minutes outside of town, and you go to the Elk Creek, and that's where you get that seclusion. So a lot of these home bases are based exactly on that idea that you can go to a home base, play, eat, and sleep, and have a great time, but also just minutes away, because you're in Colorado. Most of the state is wild. You just drive a few minutes, and you're in a very pristine element and catching really wild trout.
Best restaurant. Favorite restaurant.
What was that place? The Cantina, Ed's Cantina in Estes Park.
in Estes Park.
Really?
One of my favorite breakfasts.
It was amazing. Hey, now I will tell you this though, Chip. There was times when we were out in the jungle for 7 or 8 days, and we'd get back, and there was this one time we came out of Rocky Mountain National Park and went to the dump. It was the worst place ever. And we were scared that people weren't sitting next to us because we smelled so bad. And I'm sure it was a lousy burger, but in my mind, it was the best burger I ever ate.
I get that.
That was the Dairy. It's called a Dairy King.
Not the Queen.
In Grand Lake, right outside Rocky Mountain National Park.
Have you guys, I guess it's like this everywhere when I travel as well, but are you having to contend with more and more people every summer?
Fishing?
Yep.
I don't know. We're contending with more privatization of waters, but I don't know about more people necessarily.
Mark, we talked about that last week, that more and more water are becoming private that used to be public.
Yeah.
Is that a bigger issue than the number of people who are out there trying to catch trout?
I think so. I think that maybe it's because we get away from it all so much. We don't like fishing next to people. We're willing to walk up that extra miles. We're caught in a quandary here as travel/fishing riders, Chip, and that is we write about places, and yet they better be able to handle the pressure. I mean, it's not fair for us to tell you about a river and then complain when you're on it.
Yeah. Well, I told you already ruined the Valle Vidal for everybody.
I told you this summer we're going to take you up into Latier and really get on up in there, Little Blue Lake and all that Midnight Creek stuff.
I'm more than ready.
All right, I'm ready too. Well, you got to come up to Durango and fish with us too.
That's the name of the other book, right? So Many Fish, So Little Time.
Right.
That's where I am right now, unfortunately. So many fish, so little time.
I understand.
Best scenery.
Oh boy, it used to be the flat tops, but they had a fire, and they've also had pine beetles. That's something that we found going across Colorado all summer.
Well, that's a huge issue right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Huge issue. And I don't know that they know how to fix it. It seems out of control. You'll see deforestation for just miles and miles and miles. It's just sad, and it's going to take a while. There'll be aspens that come in first, but it's going to be 30, 40 years before we start seeing that new growth like we need.
Right. How about the health of the rivers that you guys see week in and week out when you're on these rivers? Do you feel like that the trout fishery is in decent shape overall?
Yes.
Yeah, I think in Colorado especially, they do a very good job of keeping everything regulated, and the people that live there are smart, and there's
a lot of chapters that help out with that kind of stuff.
Right.
Mac and I always laugh. We'll meet a lot of people from Amarillo or Dallas that say, man, Red River used to be a great fishery back in the 60s. We used to just take back coolers and coolers of fish.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with it now.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of the rivers, with the slot limits and the different restrictions they have and the river keepers we have, I think we're in the trout fishery in the Southwest is as healthy as it's ever been.
Guys, appreciate the time. The book is called Colorado Fly Fishing, Where to Eat, Sleep, and Fish. And it is a very extensive guide. I think you'll really enjoy that. And it's going to be your fault, all your fault again, when you hike through the woods and you go to your favorite spot and there's like 3 people already standing there.
We'll just hike on past them with you in tow.
All right, hey, I'm gonna make good on that promise. Hopefully this summer, guys.
All right, we're gonna test your cooking. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Hey, Chip, I don't know if we ever mentioned that other book that's coming out.
Give me the name of it, Chad.
So You Want to Fly Fish.
Okay.
It's not as hard as you think.
Great.
From Frederick Bell.
I tell you what, when it's out, call me.
We'll do it. Buddy.
Send me a copy, Mark.
I will. Thanks, Chip.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Okay, that's Chad McPhail, Mark Williams, the book, Colorado Fly Fishing, Where to Eat, Sleep, and Fish. Get your own copy. They're through Johnson Books in Boulder, Colorado. I'm sure you won't have any problem finding it, but I'm keeping this one. So it's a great resource. Brian Marine, 10